I mean, I don't know much, so I don't know if you want to get started, if you have a question in mind, but I have some if you don't.
One of the things that I didn't know about John's dad, Norbert Kasper, was that he was in the first class of Concordia College in Austin. Is that correct?
That's right.
When it was a high school.
High school, like that.
yeah.
1926.
Right. They still have high school, don't they?
Yeah.
Concordia
Yeah.
High School. Yeah. And then they go on. Do they have
They have
college?
Concordia University now.
Okay, so is
4-year
that 2 year or
college,
4 year?
4.
4 year. Okay.
And the high school's separate really now from,
Right,
from
okay.
the
I thought so.
university.
Yeah.
So anyway, and did he play sports of some kind or study? What did he study?
Basketball.
Basketball and track.
And
I don't know
track.
about track.
Track. I think
Don't know about the
they'll go good, too.
studies, huh?
No, I don't. I have seen one of his report cards, and I don't know what I did with it, but he had Latin and, a few religion course,
Right.
at that time. But I think there were 5 people from Wahlberg
Really?
on the first class.
Okay.
Either 4 or 5, which is surprising.
That
but,
is surprising.
Yeah.
Did Zion not have a high school then? Here?
No, high school, they don't have one now.
Yeah, it's kindergarten through
Oh,
8.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they have a 3-year-old program too, don't they?
Yeah, now they do,
3-year-old
yeah.
and
But I think
through
that's
8th
where he
grade.
was with the valedictorian in 8th grade, and then Georgetown High School. This valedictorian High School too.
Ah.
She.
I just worked harder than the rest. Everybody else went to football games and I was home studying.
So I looked for. I've got that video of. Was it the 60-year anniversary of that from like 1986 when they recorded Grandpa, or was that 96? I've got a VHS tape, but we're in the process of moving right now, and I've got it, so I'll
Somewhere.
get it to you.
Yeah,
and I want to
somewhere.
put it on DVD so I can give it to you guys. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got it somewhere.
Okay.
Good. Well, we got a little bit of time. June the 11th is the
Big reunion.
reunion, yeah. So
And where's the reunion gonna be?
community
Community
center.
center. Okay.
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, should be fun.
So, tell us about your dad. I remember your dad had the tavern on Main Street, Wahlberg.
Well, what a lot of people don't know, he had a sister and 2 brothers.
Okay.
And they those 3 died in infancy.
Oh my.
They were
Okay. I didn't know
twins,
that.
Twins. Yeah, that's one thing. But then he had a tavern, and then he also farmed.
Right.
And he was in the gin business for a little bit.
Okay.
Now, how long, I don't know.
I just got a thermometer that has Kasper gin on it, and
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know he was even in the gin business.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
either.
and a buddy of mine found it in in the Schwash place, and he pulled it out of the back of their barn, and it's Kasper During gin.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was it.
Jasper Daring Barn.
Kasper
Yeah,
During
now
gin.
why he sold to During, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So he had it before
Okay, is
Daring.
that what
So,
happened?
so then it became Daring and Tynert gin.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Or something like
I
that.
got pencils with Jerry Daring and Tyler on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you
Yeah.
the
Huh.
thermometer.
That's
But then,
interesting.
when he married, I don't know what year he married Selma.
Mm-hmm.
That's my grandma.
Right.
And Chris, you can chime in whatever you want to. And
When your grandpa and grandma married.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she married John Kasper. It was with an IK. And they lived up in Wahlberg where Dale's Essen house is,
Right.
right there.
And the house was there until
Dale
not
just
too
moved
long
it.
ago they
Yeah,
moved
till
it.
about a
Yeah.
month, or 6 weeks or so, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it's hadn't
6
been long.
months ago,
6 months
something like
ago.
that. Yeah,
And then a tornado hit it and knocked part of the roof off of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and before that, it was Mateus Kasperik was John, my great grandfather's first who kind of came up through Giddings.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, I just started kind of looking at our family history. My dad was active into it, and I've just kind of started looking. And I was in the Williamson County Museum, and I saw a picture that they had of my great grandfather on a big threshing tractor. And it was the whole town was out there, and I didn't even know that they were
On what
here in
now?
Wahlberg. It's on a big threshing tractor.
Oh,
It had
big
the
threshing,
big kind of pulley. I mean, it was probably 25 yards long that they were using. So, but yeah. So.
There's a thresher right over here now, over here by Macon Motors.
Okay.
Thresher. My cooler house. It's about
Yeah.
10 feet long, about this wide, and about,
Yeah.
about 3 feet high. She put a light bulb in there, and she raised her 100 chicks in there every spring.
Yeah.
I also kept the cats and the foxes and stuff out for
Yeah. See that.
Gotta do that. And your dad
Mhm.
was a physician.
Mhm.
What was his specialty?
So that's what we were just talking about. He started off when I was a kid. I was born in Denver because he was finishing up his residency, and then that's where he met my mom. And then we moved to Brenham and lived there for 4 years. And he was a general surgeon there. And then we left and moved to Liberia for short term. And they worked in a hospital in Liberia, and then we came back and went to Kentucky, and that's where he got his plastics. And then Mom Court and I moved here, and he went and finished up in Colorado with microsurgery of the hand. And then we're back here from basically 6th grade through the end of high school, for me, anyway.
So where is Courtney?
Court's here in Wahlberg now.
Oh, is she?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
she just built a place down on the corner of 329 and 972.
Okay.
So, and that's actually where Aunt Agnes lived for a while growing up. So,
Good.
yeah.
So a lot of people end up coming back
Yeah.
to the area.
Yeah, I never thought I'd end up back over here, but
Me either.
yeah, absolutely
Never.
happy that I am.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals, you take the country out of the girl, you can't take the country out of the girl.
Yeah.
And I had 2 daughters, one Stacy, one Shelley. Shelley lives about a mile and a half east of Wahlberg, and Stacy lives in Georgetown. Shelley has 2 daughters. One is going to Concordia College. The other one's going to Concordia High School. And Stacy has one son, and that's Zachary. He going to Georgetown High School. And I think one of them's 18 and 2 of them are 16. Sophomore, yeah.
Yeah, Courtney's daughter, so my niece and nephew Haley is going to Concordia also.
Okay.
And then my nephew is a junior at Eastview. And then my wife and I just had our first, Sadie. She's 8 months. She'll go to Zion. At least I say so.
You
We'll
bet,
see
you
how
bet.
it all works out.
At the very first.
Yeah. That's my 2 cents. We'll see what Heather has to say.
I hear you. I hear. It's a good place to go. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Is Zion still like a center of the community here? That's what it sounds like to me.
I would say so. I mean, whether
Yeah.
the church or school, it
Yeah.
runs. There's a lot of stuff that's going on.
Well, if you took the 3 churches, you took Holy Trinity up there and Zion and St. Pete's, you've got a pretty good sized community.
Right.
And it used to be, if you went across this hill right here, it was Czech. And everybody else was German on one side. Kinda
And there the
ironic.
2 shall meet.
That's right. All hell would break loose.
Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, the preacher would do that to us.
I don't know how much of this of my memory is correct, but I remember my mother telling me when my oldest sister, who is 20 years older than I, got married the same year I was born. So I don't remember much of that interaction. But anyway, Mama said that she had a date one night, and it must not have been a church member. And so it really didn't go over real big with my dad. And so she apparently didn't come home at the appointed time of 10 o'clock or
Yeah.
whatever. So he goes out, and he had a pretty good idea where to find her. And so sure enough, they were at a dance. And of course, back in those days, that was verboten.
Yeah.
Nope. Young lady, you're going home with me. She got in the car and they went home.
Yep.
And that was that.
I'll never forget my dad, speaking of that, my dad, one night, we closed the beer place. And he said, we're gonna go listen to music up at Moravian Hall. So we drove up there, Ron was in there. Mom and I and Dad and Ron, we drove up there, and I was scared to death. I think I was in 8th grade. Because, you know, Bielefeld, he preached hell and brimstone, dancing, you get too close to each other. You know?
That's right.
That is the truth.
That is
the truth. And I'll never forget, we're over and we're parked under one of those live oak trees and just listening to music, and I'm scared to death.
Burst into flames.
Well, yeah. And I'll never forget, excuse me, it was cloudy night. And I looked up and all of a sudden the moon came out and I thought all hell was breaking loose right now.
The last days are upon us.
But I'm serious, we were, you guys, Pat,
Oh, I
we
know.
were.
You better believe it.
So here's also a story that I'd always heard about you was that so when Grandpa was running the bar, he would have to drive down to Shiner to get beer,
Right.
and so he would took him about a day or so to get down there, and about a day or so to get back in the old Model T or whatever he was driving, and so he got to have a good relationship with Cosmo Spetzel, who down in Shiner, and
Right.
he wanted Cosmo to be your godfather,
Yeah.
but the church said no because he didn't go to Zion.
Yeah.
And just think if I could have been his godson,
Oh, man.
Totally different life.
he'd be drinking Shiner beer.
I am
I'd drink Shiner beer anyway.
Yeah, I'm drinking it anyway.
But that's the truth. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I
I'd
hadn't
have the
thought of
John
that.
Pilsner or something like that.
Yeah. Right. Well, I remember every once in a while, Mama would give me a nickel, and she says, "Here, why don't you go down to Norbert's and get an ice cream cone?" He had hand-dipped ice cream, and boy, that was a real treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I was scared to death too, because the only people in there were the farmers, you know, and they were drinking beer and smoking cigarettes, cigars, and boy, I got in there and got out real fast.
That's true. Yeah.
So when I was like in high school, I got to where I was playing. A buddy of mine had a pool table, and so we would go down and play pool all the time. And I got to be where I was pretty good. And we were out one night, and there was a pool table, and I challenged Dad to pool. And I know Dad had not played pool that I knew of in years, you know. And so I was like, I'm gonna school him on some pool. We got up, and he ran the table on me, and I said, what? You know, like how? And he said, you got to understand, I've been playing pool. He said, I used to have to push a box up to it to shoot pool when we had the bar. And
Oh my word!
I guess that skill never went away. Yeah, put me back in my place real quick.
Oh, that's
Right.
that is
Yeah.
too cute.
Yeah, I hadn't thought. See, I think there's those
Tables were still
pools.
on there.
Yeah, the 3 pool tables are still in that place.
I tried to buy one off of Joe
Yeah,
Drummond
I
probably
went with
10
you that
years
day.
ago. There's
Yeah.
one that was in real good shape and one that wasn't in real good shape. And Joe was like, yeah, you can buy either one of them. So I obviously gravitated towards the one that was in real good shape. As soon as Joe saw I wanted that one, he's like, yep, that one's not for sale anymore.
How much?
He was like, nope, that one's not for sale anymore.
That's
You can
right.
take this one.
Yeah.
Had like a milk crate for a leg and stuff. I was like, nah, pass.
Which bar? Which place?
Right across from the bank.
Yeah, white building.
The white building.
There used to be a screened-in porch on the front too.
Yeah.
What was it called back in the 70s?
It's
and
Wahlberg
80s?
Tavern or Kasper Tavern. Yeah. He had Dad had a lot of black and Mexican trade. And every Juneteenth, he'd have between the tavern and with the house that I live in, he had a softball game. Blacks playing blacks, you know. And it was good, you know, because I think he gave a case to the loser and 2 cases of beer to the winners. And they'd sell like 100 cases of beer. See, they celebrated Juneteenth
Yeah,
at that time.
right, sure.
Now they don't celebrate
Right.
Juneteenth.
But that was a
near as
great
much.
thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Very
remember
progressive.
that.
at the
Sure,
time, too, so.
sure, absolutely.
So when did Kasper change to Kasper?
God, I don't know. It was after I got married. See, my grandfather and grandmother, they died with IK. But then Dad and, well, the whole family, even Ron's changed his name, given name.
Well, yeah, Dad's given name was Ronnie Wayne. Given name was Ronnie.
Yeah.
And he changed it to Ronald. he said, you know, it'd be hard to beat Dr. Ronnie. That's what he was telling me.
Teed my mom off.
Oh, I'm sure.
I remember Ronnie Lane,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know the other question, I don't know when he sold. It must have been around 61.
What'd you sell,
Somewhere.
61?
The beer tavern.
Oh.
Grandma always said that was the
I remember.
best and worst day.
Did the
Some selling the
Did
tavern.
the Doman
Yeah.
buy that shit, John?
What?
The Domans bought that, didn't they?
Yeah, Joe did.
Leon and I used to go down and get a picture. and that guy would check our ID. We were both in our 30s and 40s. And she won't check your ID. I don't know you.
Supposedly Kasper was originally Kasper, then got changed to Kasperick, and then that's why they changed it back to Kasper.
Yeah.
That was the original
When did
name.
it change back to Kasper?
I don't know, exactly 61?
61?
Yeah,
I remember
somewhere.
when it happened.
Yeah.
We were in the area. When did it change to Kasperick?
Oh, that I don't know, Joe.
So looking at I was reading through the Ben Nevis, whatever the family came through, and that was actually spelled. There were 3 different families of Kasper or Kasperick on the boat, and our family was actually Casparick on the boat registry. And they said, some of what I read is like they would just change it to differentiate from the other family at the time, and then they'd go back. And so it had that spelling on the boat, and immediately after they got here, it was Kasperik.
Yeah.
So it's not real sure. It's a fluid name.
Whatever.
But it has a
See,
Windish,
Yeah.
Wendish,
Yeah.
its background, so it's got that Eastern German,
Oh, yeah.
you know, sort of,
Slavic.
That Czech
Exactly.
border type deal.
exactly, that Slavic,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting to me.
So, yeah, when we were kids, Dad and Mom drove us, or we went to Europe and kind of traveled around trying to research family lineage and stuff. And we got to a cemetery. I don't know where it was, East Germany, and he was trying to figure out name origination because that's basically on our family line. You go back to about 1850s, and you can't find anything because in the cemeteries they would stack people. You know, they only had so much space, and so they were changing out headstones and everything else, and so you couldn't really trace our line back much past that. So.
Well, that's kind of like my family came from Germany in 1750.
Good
Right
gosh.
in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and so, but their name was Mack, M-A-C-K, they spelled it, and pronounced it Mock.
Oh, okay.
So, in the genealogy, it's Mac Mock,
Yeah.
Back by.
Yeah.
Philip Mac Mock.
So in the Windish history that you sent me from Serbian, there's back to the Slavic. There's a mention that the Wind's ancestries were Slavic tribes.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, most of the Kaspers are buried in Warda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Warda,
Yeah,
which is below Serbian.
right.
That was just Mateus's
Yeah.
father.
Yeah.
So he was younger when he came over, and then so I think we've got like one generation down by Warda.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of came up this way.
Well, that's where my daddy's family
Warda?
settled, was in the Lee County area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know like Warda, Serbian, or
I don't even
John,
know.
John was just in Guineas, though, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Didn't want it.
Yeah.
But then.
I'm sure it's in the Tyner book, but I haven't looked at Tyner book in a long
But they
time.
moved to Copper's Cove.
Yeah,
When?
and I don't know that either.
But your granddaddy was the butcher in Copper's Cove.
I
He's
know.
not the butcher.
And he
in
farmed
Sherman.
as well.
Yeah, farm up there, so.
But there was a
He
Kasper.
lived to be 91,
Yeah.
poor fella.
There was another Kasper family that was trying to come over that was Windish that got stranded in Cuba. But that was a different family entirely. So yeah, I ended up going down some weird rabbit trail. There's a Windish population that was in Cuba for a while.
Interesting. Are they
yeah.
still there?
You're
No.
still probably kin to him somewhere back there.
Probably.
oh yeah,
I'm sure.
no doubt about
Yeah.
that.
No doubt about
So
that.
you look at like John and Stacy, and then I've just seen pictures of Grandma's mom, and like they tan up like crazy. I mean, olive skin, and great grandma, they said she had coal black hair all the way, you know. But that's supposedly Wendish.
Right. And so what brought the Kaspers from Lee County to Williamson County? Was it just with sort of migration with the rest of the Windish clans, or was there because of farming?
Well, yeah, I think that plus wood and water
Yeah.
at that time was very important.
Right.
That's what I've always
The
heard.
resources, the driving resources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
There's still a
now,
lot of Kaspers down back
You
east.
gotta have water, and you had to have wood to burn.
oh, yeah.
Because you had to cook on it, unless you had a coal mine, and we didn't have those in Texas.
well, now, the Kokel homestead, wasn't it down on Possum Creek?
Yeah,
Or
in
close
Twin
to-
Creek. But you know, Pat, I didn't know till the other day, I talked to Val Jean a little bit. And she told me that all of the kids, the Koch kids, if I understood her right, were born in a house west of Gerald. Did you know that?
I did not.
I didn't know that either. Between Gerald and Florence.
Never heard of that.
And then, Grandpa, Coco, he sold that and then he bought that place and built that big house. See, you've seen pictures of that big house, haven't you? Yeah.
Is it still down there?
No,
It's gone?
I think it's gone. Yeah, I know it is.
Did the Darings buy that, or?
I have no idea. I imagine it did, because they owned that property at one time.
Okay, so I heard Clarence, I think he was the oldest, but, you know, he died fairly young.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know, I just assumed that they,
And do you know how many kids the Kogels had?
9,
9.
I think so.
How many boys and girls?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, but I remember there was a bedroom downstairs for mom and dad, and then there were 2 bedrooms upstairs, one for all the boys and one for all the girls. And so, you know, the older ones would help to take care of the younger ones, and that's how that was, and
9 had kids, but 13 total.
okay.
13 children?
Let me check, I just read this in here.
13? That could be. But you know, you had to have a big family to survive.
That's right,
Yeah.
to do
Even though
work.
you had to feed them and everything else.
Oh goodness, well, if you,
Is it 13?
Yeah, they had 13 kids, 9 of them, like, have descendants.
I'm sorry?
9 of the 13, like, got married and had kids,
Oh,
but there
okay.
were 13.
Okay. See, I didn't, you know, all I remember is Aunt Rosie, your mom, and I know a little bit about Val Jean's mom, but I don't know much about her. Do you know?
grandmother, her
Yeah.
grandmother, Hannah. I don't know a lot, but I know Val Jean said that she must have been the storyteller, and she
Oh, yeah.
revealed a lot of stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
Val Jean knows that you and I don't know.
That's right.
And
And that's how I found out about the Kokels having that house between Gerald and Florence.
that's interesting. You know, I've got my parents' baptism certificates and confirmation and wedding certificates in there. And I was looking one day when we were,
If you could read
you know,
German.
yeah, well, but the sponsors, there were a ton of sponsors. And I was reading on my mother's baptism certificate, and it had, one of the sponsors was Emma Tynert. And my daddy's mother was Emma Tynert. So I don't know, I mean, I don't know that there were that many Emma Tynerts around, but I know, you know, I guess if they all came over on the ship together, they probably would have known each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Daddy was a year older than Mama, so I thought, you know, that's interesting. I never knew that.
So, did your dad speak Windish or just German?
No.
Or,
Not that I know.
do you speak German or?
Oh, yeah. I can speak a little bit, or I can understand it.
John could not speak English, he got in the first grade,
That's
through
true.
the first grade.
See, I stayed a lot with Grandma and Grandpa, or Grandma, because Dad was in the beer business, you know, for 28 years. And took a lot of time,
Sure.
Yep, what,
You spoke German until first grade?
virtually,
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
It's a
speak?
wonder I don't have an accent right now.
Anybody speak?
You did.
Windish when you were kids. Anybody
Yeah.
speak Windish?
I had my father-in-law could speak it a little bit.
Windish?
Windish, yeah.
Well, you know, John took German 1. I was taking German at Southwestern. And John took German 1 by
Exam, wasn't it?
not exam, by verbal exam.
Yeah, I think so.
From Frau Lentz. And she said, Mr. Kasper, you do not do English, you do Texas German. You do not do Berlin German. I'm teaching Berlin German.
I took 4 years of German, high school and college, with like to talk to grandma and grandpa, and it is totally different German
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, gosh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's Texas. It's
Well, Texas German.
Yeah, well,
Well,
what
it's
does
got
that
all,
mean?
it's just
It's
like,
just
it's just
different
like
dialects?
Tex-Mex, like Tex-Mex. It's got,
Yeah.
it's
it's
idioms.
got its unique
Exactly.
stuff, I guess, for local, but also just the way, and I was learning book German, which is, they say high German or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
kind of classic.
High and low.
High
Berlin
and low,
German.
yeah.
Berlin,
Right,
Berlin German.
and so, but I mean, the stress on syllables and stuff is different. Like I just never really could.
Yeah. My second year of German was a guy was a Hungarian who'd been in World War II. And his name was Monastery. And he was, his dad was a officer in the Nazi army.
So how is Windish different than Czech or German?
I don't know.
Just from what I mean, it's totally unique. I mean, that's the Slavic type. There's some of it that looks similar to Czech, I think, more than
Well, Czech,
German.
Czech Slavic, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, you know, the Windish the Germans didn't want them and the Czech people didn't want them.
Yeah.
So they were right there on that
And
borderline.
that's why they left.
Yeah, they got out of there. Because they were either maids or butlers or, you just didn't succeed. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It is, no chance for advancement.
No,
So here there was
You were
what, like a German and a Czech community, and they never mixed.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
we didn't go over the hill.
Just kind of starting to now.
I'll never
it seems
forget. We were at a dance hall, it was no longer there at Theon one night.
Yeah, I know what they were.
Huh?
I know what they were at Theon, yeah.
You do what?
I remember what thing at dance hall at Theon.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we were there, and who lost their doggone key to the car? And we thought, oh, hell's gonna break loose, because how are we gonna get this car home and not
They're
be
gonna
at the
know
dance hall? But it was a lot of fun, it was,
I think there was also some of the
We were
Catholic
Southwestern
courses
people at
that
Theon.
Yeah.
stuff like that as
Yeah,
well.
right.
Within that.
Well, when did they move Jones' place from the corner by Mickens down here?
Do what now?
When did they move Joe's place from the corner by Mickens down here, down to middle of Walburg?
Was it
Pete's.
Dale's that
Dale's.
Yeah, it was
used to?
Pete's, that was never
That was
Joe's
never
place.
Joe's. That was Pete's place.
Yeah,
That was Pete's place.
Which
It
one?
wasn't ever by Mickens. Was Pete's place.
Well, we used to go up there and drink beer, and I was in college, and we paid water for a
That was
drink.
Yeah.
Pete's then, right?
It was.
for Pete's, there was, then Joe Labor took
Right,
over
Joe
that.
Lamer took it when we were in
Yeah.
college. You know.
Pete's was closing when I grew up. I was
Yeah,
a little
she had
bitty,
that.
and then that closed.
He had that accident
It
that
was Joe
night.
Lamer's for a long time, though. Joe Lamer moved down here,
Yeah,
Yeah.
where Dale's is now.
But did he ever call it Joe's up there where it was Pete's? Where Pete's place is, did he ever call it Joe's
yeah,
at that point?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, down there on the corner, you
Yeah.
talking about, yeah.
Well, we had a beer bus there when we were in college, a couple of them.
And then there was Andrew's Tavern for a while too, where that is now next to the chiropractor place.
Yeah.
That was Andrew's Tavern too for a long time.
So we remodeled that when we bought, it was the old Andrews Tavern. We bought that when I was in college, and that was like summer jobs. Dad would have me doing stuff. And we crawled underneath there, and they had a hole, I guess, in the floor where they would just drop the beer tabs through. And I mean, that was like a clot of beer tabs rusted all together that we pulled out.
Well, over at Dad's, they had a restroom for the ladies, but the men usually just went outside.
Sure.
And at the garage, they just had a thing there, and that was just full of beer cans too.
Beer cans.
They were dead, all of them thrown in there.
Yeah, it was what it was.
It's a wonder anybody survived.
You had 2 churches and how many barns?
Yeah,
Plus people selling it out of their house,
yeah.
right? So
But we had a bank
and a bank.
and a
Yeah,
general
right.
store.
Yep.
We
And
had a doctor.
we did.
We had a pharmacy.
Yes, we
Pharmacy?
did. They were both in the same building.
Yeah.
Was it where the chiropractor is now?
Yeah, no.
No, next
so-
door.
But
Next
next
door.
door, there was another one.
Okay, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I remember Dr. Whittemeyer. I don't know who the pharmacist was.
McInnes.
That's right,
crazy.
McGinnis.
Yeah, because, when is it? March what is it, the, St. Patrick's Day?
17th,
What?
March 17th.
Yeah, Dad always would have a 8-gallon keg of green beer. And they drink green beer all day long.
He found
And
he found reasons to celebrate.
Oh, yeah. He did. But he did.
He kept up with the times.
Yeah.
But you know, that was.
Marketing right there.
And we also had that, also had remember Pat, the blacksmith on the other side of the blacksmith?
Yes.
Had that, and that's where a guy,
Howdy.
that other guy would do,
Hello?
caskets.
Mr. Long,
He'd build
Yeah.
caskets.
I'm Mary.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, good. Are you guys home?
Yeah,
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna head out that way.
sounds good. All right,
See you there.
bye.
Phone call interlude.
So did During start the
All
bank?
right, that's the guy who's gonna paint
I
the
think so.
outside house for
Yeah.
Mom, for Pat. She wants the outside painted. Oh, cool. All that mildew. Our nephew built the place and he painted it, but he didn't use mildew-proof paint. Everything is black. It's gonna take a month just
And
to.
the paint
for
really
me to do
hasn't
this.
held
It'll take a
up.
month just for me to power wash. I ain't gonna do it.
So when did they start the bank? Because that would have
You
been
know, I don't know
around the
that
same
either,
time that you
Presley.
need to have a tavern and a doctor, you need.
Yeah, all they had it
You need a bank.
Yeah.
And a general store.
Did you turn
Had
it
a
back
general
on,
store.
Presley?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
Did anyone make their own beer, or were they all just like?
Well, they did have, a lot of them made a home brew, you know, during Prohibition.
And wine.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of wine.
Yeah.
We made wine out of anything that was a fruit. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peaches, pomegranates.
yeah.
Well, Granite Tiger made wine.
Yeah, out of the
Papa Tyler, I made wine.
Mustang grapes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good
that
stuff.
was
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
We lived out Muscadine right down that gully down there. And he and I went down there with his, he had a little 4-8 in and a trailer. We went down there, we pulled all those grapevines out of those trees down there. He came back, we stomped them up there at the house. And put that, that's the strongest wine I ever drank.
Yeah.
You go, we would go to church, come in on Sunday morning, eat Sunday for lunch, and we get cheddar cheese glasses, come in little glasses,
Cheese spread. Yeah.
cheese spread glass. They pour one of those, you drink one of those, you better not try to stand up.
Then Sunday's a day of rest.
That's right. Right. Just in case you forgot.
I made my first batch of wine a couple years ago, trying to figure out how they did all that stuff back. It turned out okay. There's some Spanish grapes around here now that.
I've still got some wine.
Don't keep it too long.
No.
Oh, no.
It's,
Mine,
I mean,
must
if you
drink.
got it over,
mine's bottled in beer bottles.
I know, but still don't keep it too long.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you wanna drink it?
No. I think it'll turn to vinegar
I
a little
think
bit.
it will.
No, not in there. It's sealed.
So Dad tried, when I was a kid, he tried to graft. We went over to France, and he brought some sprigs back and tried grafting it onto the Mustang vines because it was a hardier vine. And